finally we get to some stuff that is actually happening in the manga. And I actually predicted this. I did say that eventually after the whole prison thing, right, the blood prison thing, it's going to lead to this arc that's currently happening. And I'm going to be covering the anime from here on, as long as they are covering stuff within the manga, because anything else hasn't really been interesting. And the whole prison thing was kind of, meh for me. So yeah, this episode was actually quite good. There were a few things that happened within it that, should have been controversial, but they kind of removed it. And, for the people who read the manga, what scene I'm talking about, right? They kind of took that out. So, in general, this arc has been subpar so far. It's this part that's going to be the most interesting part. And I think from here on, if they actually do decide to keep, adapting the manga and then create the anime's own version of what's going to happen after, just like Dragon Ball Super's anime did, then, that would be good for them to continue the story instead of adding, fillers here and there, canon fillers anyway. So in the episode, Tentou, who's a spoiled kid, gets a lesson from Boruto, which I think is good. Boruto is actually teaching someone how to become a ninja, as well as teaching them how to be humble. I like the fact that they actually added, extra scenes of Tentou being in a tournament. I don't recall them adding that in the manga. So that was actually good to see. And he got a little bit more character development because of that. And we kind of understand what his goal is. It's basically to impress his father, because his father is interested in ninjas, right? And he wants his attention from his father. So since he's not getting it, the only way is to actually become what his father is situating his attention to, or directing his attention to. So that's his main reason to become a ninja, right? And I think that's a good goal. However, the thing is, obviously becoming a ninja is quite dangerous. So I don't know if he's going to have it in him to actually take on dangerous missions, because you need a higher will and skill in order to take on the missions that Boruto and Sarada and, Team 7 in general are taking on, especially what's going to happen in a few, weeks' time when we actually get to, the good shit. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything for you anime watchers only, but it's about to get a little bit more epic than this. One of the things I liked actually was Boruto's attitude change. And let's talk about the controversial scene right now, okay? So in the manga version, Sarada basically had this sassy nature about her where she was trying to be sexy, and she kind of implied that she wanted a piece of Boruto. So, she was trying to fuck this nigga raw, but Boruto's not about that because he's, 12, 13. He don't know about that shit yet. So that's kind of not going to happen. So that scene was kind of controversial, and the fact that they removed it kind of confirms that. I think a lot of people are complaining about it. Personally, I don't want to see naked girls, little girls in any manga I read, and I'm personally not, reading manga just for romance, because they're fictional characters, right? And I think what people around that age, think is they don't mind that at all. So it's kind of like a argument between people who are around that age that say, yeah, it's nothing, it's not much of a big deal, and they kind of like the fan service. And then there's, adults out there who say, nah, I'm not trying to see little girls and shit. So yeah, that kind of got removed, and I kind of like Boruto's attitude kind of thing. It's like the whole thing, his whole vibe changed, bro. This nigga's like Itachi, moving like Itachi, or, someone who actually knows their shit, you know what I'm saying? A ninja that can, do an entire, B rank mission by themselves. He's acting like that, and that's kind of cool. I want to see a more Boruto like that. The more happy, joyous Boruto is gone. He's now turning to the Boruto that's not naive, that's very cautious and very serious about his mission. I've never seen that side of him, and once I started seeing that, once he pulled up when shojoji was about to eat Tentou, and he kicked him and he said, yeah, I'm right here, I'm about to handle this shit. That's the sort of Boruto I want to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, Boruto should have, two sorts of personalities or something. One where he's not in a serious mission, and one where, shit goes down and he has to be serious. That right there was perfect. So, yeah, shojoji is basically a person that has the corpse clone jutsu. One thing I was surprised about was the fact that I think Alfred, or the bodyguard, I think his name was Yamaoka, right? I call him Alfred. I thought that what happened was that shojoji kind of captured him before they even came to the village, because in the manga they never actually showed us an extra scene where this guy got captured, not from my memory. So I think what happened was that obviously when they were training, he went to make food, and then he got captured and he got eaten. I think they basically never really explained it properly how shojoji kind of does his corpse clone jutsu. In one statement, he says that he actually eats someone, and there's no sign of the person after he eats them. So does he eat the entire body, or is it the other statement that he made where he says he eats the brains? I don't understand which one it is, but either way, I kind of thought that Yamaoka or Alfred basically got eaten before the entire arc started, but nah, it kind of happened halfway through, and ever since he started behaving suspiciously, that's when he basically got taken over, which is kind of sad. You're just walking, handling your business, and out of nowhere, you just get killed. Not because you've done anything wrong, but you're just a means for someone to get up somewhere else. That's kind of mad. So yeah, I really like this episode. Sometimes reading the manga alone is not good enough. The anime actually adds extra stuff into it, like the voice acting, the sound effects, the music, all of that. All adds up and makes epic moments in the manga even more better. And I promise you guys, the anime only watchers, that next episode is gonna be mad. All right. So yeah, with that being said, I want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And I have nothing more to say. Bye.